Here at PEI, we are doing a series of short videos on the top 10 digital platform policy issues of 2020. We based our ranking on the number of times an issue appears in the reports on platformeconomyinsights.com. You can see a link in the description down below. So without further ado, 2020's issue number 6, the TikTok and WeChat bans. Let me just say, as we climb up this top 10 list, the issues occupied more and more attention in the news. In short, a lot happened. If you need more than a quick review, delve into platformeconomyinsights.com on the web. There's a lot more there. Now, to put it mildly, the effort to ban WeChat and TikTok apps is an unprecedented manifestation of the digital decoupling that is underway between the US and China. Here in the US, there is really nothing similar to draw on to get a sense as to what's going to happen. No similar past experiences of bad big consumer companies being banned. Of course, in China, nearly all the major American consumer internet businesses are effectively banned. And that's one of the reasons that significantly reducing Chinese digital operations in the US has meaningful bipartisan support. Now, there have been two major threads of activity. First, in August, the Trump administration announced bans of WeChat and TikTok. Now, you've almost certainly heard of the short video social media sensation TikTok. It's owned by ByteDance, one of China's fastest growing digital companies. WeChat is less popular in the US, but in China it's often referred to as a super app. It's owned by Tencent, a Chinese digital giant, right up there with Alibaba. WeChat includes communications, payments, and a wide range of commerce applications. People say it's all but essential if you want any kind of digital life in China. And make no mistake, it's closely aligned with the Chinese government internet censorship and surveillance regime. It has to be. The thumbnail argument behind the proposed bans by the Trump administration is that Chinese digital businesses are, by their very nature, beholden to the Chinese government. And therefore, they're vulnerable to any manner of digital surveillance and control. The contention is that there is no rule of law in China, and therefore companies, their leaders, their data, and their operations are vulnerable to government fiat. So the largest ones should not operate in the US because giving Chinese authorities the ability to gather data on millions and millions of Americans is just a bad idea. Hence, the bans. Now, to cut to the chase, both the WeChat ban and the TikTok ban have been stifled in US federal court. Kind of ironic, honestly. A federal court in California granted an injunction to a group of US-based WeChat users who argued that they needed to use WeChat to communicate with people in China because the Chinese government banned all the US alternatives. The ruling was grounded in First Amendment freedom of speech arguments. Again, kind of ironic. A First Amendment right to use a service triggered by a foreign government banning all the others. With regard to TikTok, federal judges in Pennsylvania and the District of Columbia granted injunctions to stop the ban. The Pennsylvania case was filed by TikTok influencers, people who make money creating short videos that play on TikTok. And the DC suit was filed by the company itself. The TikTok injunctions were grounded in an argument that the president's authority under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act does not cover communications. Now, all of these injunctions are being appealed by the federal government. The last big thread of activity involves TikTok and a U.S. agency called the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States, or CFIUS. CFIUS has broad authority to review any merger or acquisition in the United States by a foreign entity and reject or modify it for national security reasons. Data holdings are part of what CFIUS is now able to review. It turns out ByteDance acquired another short video app called Musical.ly in 2017, which was combined with TikTok to create the current app. CFIUS has ruled that they should have been asked to review that merger. and now they say the merger needs to be unwound. CFIUS is ordering the breaking off of TikTok in the US from the rest of TikTok. Huge and massively controversial. Rather than sell TikTok in the US outright, ByteDance is reportedly offering to establish a business arrangement with tech company Oracle to house and control data on all of its US users to allay data security concerns. Their lawyers point to a CFIUS ruling on the acquisition of Genworth Financial, an insurance business that was bought by a Chinese company back in 2017, as a precedent. The CFIUS order to divest TikTok is based on completely different legal authority than the app bans. The CFIUS interest in Chinese businesses holding US user data has been growing for years, and Congress expanded its authority to address data back in 2018. A series of deadlines from CFIUS has passed in late November and early December, and the parties are obviously in court. I suspect that ByteDance would be more than happy at this point to simply delay final action until the Biden administration takes over CFIUS in mid-January. And then they'll hope that regardless of what anybody thinks about how the new administration will address China issues, that it won't be as radical as the Trump team was. Okay, next up, issue number 5. Forcing Google and Facebook to pay cash money to media companies around the world. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.